Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becky Sechere, UK registered nurse, and I do videos about anything you need to know about staying and living in the UK, either as a nurse or generally just being a foreigner living in the UK. So in today's video, I'm going to be answering a question asked by someone regarding how you can stay in the UK after divorce or separation, especially if you are on a dependent visa. This has been a difficult situation for a lot of people. People rushed into marriages before coming to the UK, or some have married and they haven't lived together enough to know each other before traveling overseas. And when people come overseas as well, life changes, a lot of stress in the system, a lot of different things going on. And it gets to a point some people feel, you know what, I don't think I can cope with this relationship, and they want to move on from that relationship. It becomes difficult if you are the dependent, because your visa depends on the main person or the main skilled worker or whatever category they may have come in. So if you want to know more about how you can stay or how you can remain in the UK after separation or divorce, why not watch the video to the end? And if this is the first time you have come across my channel, you're very welcome. Please remember to like, subscribe and share. So if your visa is based on a relationship that has broken down or you have separated, the first thing you have to do, especially for the main skilled worker or whoever, is to notify the Home Office about your relationship breakdown. There's a link which I think I did a video a year ago about that, so look for that video. And then there is step-to-step guide. There is a link. You can actually search for this information on the Home Office UK government website to check on what to do when your relationship has broken down or visa issues. So first of all, you need to notify the Home Office. You need to send the details. So when you're completing the form, or if you're sending the email, you need your details, your husband or partner's details, your Home Office or your visa related reference numbers and all, passport number and all those things. And then you send that off to Home Office. Anyway, after that, you have to, if you are the dependent and you find yourself in this difficult situation, you have to take action quickly as soon as the relationship is ended before your current visa expires. Otherwise, if you don't do anything and your current visa expires, you become illegal in the UK. So it's very important, especially if you want to continue to remain or stay in the UK. However, if you feel, you know what, I don't want to be here anymore, I want to go back to my home country, it's even better. You can just go. But if you do want to stay in the UK, then it's important. Take action before your current visa expires. So what are some of the options or visa categories you can apply to? Just to clarify, it is not 100% you would get any of these. You have to meet the eligibility criteria, and if you don't meet the eligibility criteria, then unfortunately you will not be able to apply for any form of visa, sadly. Anyway, so one of those you can consider is switching to the work visa type of options. So one of them would either be, if you're skilled yourself, then you have to be looking for a skilled worker visa. If you meet the eligibility criteria for graduate visa, why not? You can explore that option. Another one would be the health and care worker visa, global talent visa. I know with the health and care worker visa, things have become quite difficult these days. Even nursing recruitment into UK now, it's no longer very possible Yes, maybe some people may, but as far as I'm aware, the NHS is struggling. I can confidently say that the trust or the hospital I'm working for, they are trying so hard to actually cut a lot of wastage, and there is recruitment not banned, I would say, but some hospital have actually frozen recruitment even within, let alone thinking about international recruitment. So that is a bit difficult. Even health and care worker visas these days, it's difficult to switch, although occasionally you might find one or two. So it's difficult. Another option you can look at is as a parent of a child. That is a type of a family visa option, which is when you have a child who is a British citizen or has settled, which is the same as having indefinite leave to remain in the UK, and the child has lived in the UK for 7 years or more. Some of the requirement would be the child must be under 18 years old. The child must be living with you, or you must be living with your child. The child must have started living in the UK before 2021. Also, you must have a sole parental responsibility for this child. You must also provide a lot of evidence to support what you are saying, to show you have the sole parental responsibility or main responsibility of this child. Some of the options would be getting a letter from the GP or the dentist or from the school, anything that would prove. So you need a lot of evidence to support any of these visa categories. You can also apply on the basis of private life. For example, if you have lived legally in the UK for a long time, so you need to check on the eligibility of application or visa application on the basis of private life. I am going to be adding a link to this video so you can look yourself. I need to clarify, I'm not a lawyer, I'm a nurse by profession. So if you need further clarification or further information, it's better to seek the guidance of an immigration solicitor. I know they are very expensive these days, or not these days. Lawyers and solicitors in the UK are very expensive, but you know what, you need to do things the right way. So you can seek an advice and see what is possible for you. Another option of visa you can apply for is indefinite leave to remain or settlement if your relationship has broken down as a result of domestic violence or domestic abuse. So my advice to you, if you're going through domestic violence or domestic abuse, make sure you seek help and go through the police. Depending on what the situation is, domestic abuse is not acceptable, so seek help if you're going through. There are a lot of women aid organizations that do support women, or even if you're a man and you're going through domestic abuse as well, because it can happen. You need to seek help. So you need to check the eligibility, and some of the eligibility to apply for relationship breaking down as a result of domestic violence would be: one, your partner who is abusing you or whose visa you are on must be a British citizen or have indefinite leave to remain. So if you've come as a skilled worker and you haven't been in the UK for 5 years yet, then unfortunately you can't apply through that, because your husband or partner wouldn't have had the indefinite leave to remain or wouldn't have been a British citizen. But if you fall in a category where your husband or partner or spouse has British citizenship or has indefinite leave to remain, then you can apply for indefinite leave to remain as a result of that person abusing you, things like that. Or your spouse must be a member of the UK Armed Forces who have served for at least 4 years. So some dependents have come to UK as a result of their spouses being in the UK Armed Forces. So if they've been in the Armed Forces for 4 years or more, then you can apply for indefinite leave to remain on the basis of marriage or relationship breaking down as a result of DV. Another one is a person with permission to stay in the UK as a refugee. So your spouse must be a person who has permission to stay in the UK as a result of being a refugee. Another one, or another eligibility, is your spouse must be a person with a settled status under the EU settlement scheme, or she must be a citizen of EU, Switzerland, Norway, Iceland, with pre-settled status in the UK or under the EU pre-settled status scheme. Important for you to seek advice, seek help if you're going through any difficult situation with your partner. You definitely need evidence to prove that you're going through these sort of things. You cannot just apply and say our marriage has broken down as a result of DV or DA. You need to have evidence. You must have either been in contact with the police or spoken to someone. You need to keep records and things about that. I've had inquiry about a lady a couple of months ago who had gone through something like that, and her partner or spouse and his family were not quite nice to her, and they forced her to go back to her country, so she left. You cannot apply for any of these things if you have left the UK. So it's important for you to take action, as I said, before your current visa expires, because if it expires, then I'm sorry, you can't do anything else. You don't want to live in the UK as an illegal immigrant, because if you do, you would have a lot of difficulties if you're going to be searching for jobs. Sometimes you go into the hospital, they are asking you for your immigration details. You're going to rent a place. Even landlords these days are required to check what status this person has before they give you accommodation. If you're helping people on the side, they abuse you, they make, it's not a nice situation. So it's good. And as well, if you've lived here illegally and you want to go back home, something happens, you can go, but you can't come back. So these are some of the disadvantages of staying illegally. You find life difficult. Yes, some people may have been okay, but it is not the best. So it's important for you to take action before things get out of hand, especially if your visa in the UK is based on someone else, your spouse. I know it's a difficult situation, but take action before it's too late. And I hope this video has been helpful. I will add a link to the video so you can go through and look at each of them, and you can check whether you have the eligibility or you meet the eligibility criteria to fulfill any of the visa options. Other than that, there's nothing else you can do. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again later. Bye-bye.